My name is Rajeev Bhargava. I studied economic honors at Delhi University and then went to Oxford to do an MPhil and a DPhil. My first book was in the philosophy of social science, and it was published as Individualism in Social Science way back in 91. But once I came back from Oxford to India, I felt that I couldn't continue any work in this abstract field. I had to engage more with social and political issues in India. So I started to do social and political theory, and my first work was on secularism. I wrote a number of articles and books on it. One of them is called Secularism and Its Critics, which I edited, and subsequently I wrote The Promise of India's Secular Democracy. I also wrote What is Political Theory and Why Do We Need It? Reimagining Indian Secularism, a collection of articles which I published based on my interventions, public interventions in the Hindu, is called Between Hope and Despair, and it's published by Bloomsbury. It's quite clear that I felt that I can't be confined to the classroom, but I must go out into the public, and this is the reason why I've begun to this YouTube channel, where I hope to cover several issues in social life, in public life, and in politics. And I'd like to read my articles on this YouTube channel. So I look forward to this public engagement. Thank you. A nation is a people in conversation. What is a nation? Above all, it is a people self-consciously bound together by common or overlapping concerns about their past, present, and future. This self-conscious awareness of commonality is not genetically encoded, nor does it drop from the sky. It grows when people talk and listen to one another, and through oral and written communication, understand each other. This is easy among families and in villages concentrated in a small territory where people meet face to face. But how do common concerns develop among an entire people, virtual strangers to one another, and spread over a large territory? The short answer is that without a public culture forged first by print and then in electronic media, there would be no conversation among the people, no development of common concerns, and therefore no nation. So it is entirely apt to say that a nation exists only as long as there is a continuous conversation among its members about what it was, will, and should be. A disruption of this conversation is the undoing of a nation. This conversation is also about what the nation should do. This is an unprecedented achievement of our age. For conversations now are not just passive, contemplative, and mere post facto reflections, but yield decisions on which the people may act. A modern nation is a collective agent. Its members can together arrive to realize goals that they have set for themselves. For example, India must together discuss and find ways to reduce unemployment, resolve the conflict in Kashmir, and alleviate the distress of its farmers. This was impossible in earlier societies, where decisions about the future of society were taken by a small band of elites, notably chieftains and kings, primarily to protect their own interests rather than the interests of the people, which were always secondary. To be sure, such conversations and interconnected actions existed in the past. Some elites, dispersed across large territories, may well have had a conversation about things in common. How else does one explain the spread of bhakti or Vedantic ideas across large swathes of India? Yet, what is new in our time is that in principle, any Indian can begin a conversation on any matter and turn it into an issue of common and pervasive concern. An issue of a particular community, say, if affects only Muslim women, an issue of a particular community, say triple talaq, adversely affects only Muslim women and is primarily a matter between Muslim men and women. But it can be viewed, at least secondarily, as a matter of common concern. Likewise, the exclusion of Hindu women from some temples may not affect non-Hindus, but can be raised by them as a matter of general concern. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre says somewhere that the distinguishing mark of intellectuals is that they stick their nose into every other person's business. However, in modern nations with democracy, this trait is widespread, provided they empathetically understand it in all its complexity and nuance. Virtually anyone can make another person's interest a matter of common concern. If this is so, an important implication ensues for the ethics of nationhood. No one should be prevented from turning a particular matter into an issue of common concern or be excluded from this conversation, not even those with whom one profoundly disagrees. For having a conversation is not the same as reaching an agreement. When a large group begins a conversation, different voices, interests, ideas about the common good participate in it. Some of these differences go deep and surface for the first time only during a conversation and cause dissonance. For example, currently issues pertaining to Kashmir are so fraught with controversy that even an academic argument by a professor causes intense heat. Not surprisingly, public arenas where such conversations take place are a frequent site of conflict. Both the expression of conflict and its artful management are crucial for a productive conversation. If a nation is a people in conversation, then anyone stopping this conversation is damaging it. Such conversation stoppers act in two ways. First, under the illusion that they are managing or resolving conflict, they forcibly remove some groups from the public arena, depriving them of the means to express their concerns and arguments. Some violent extremists do so for other reasons. For example, it is the avowed aim of terrorists to terminate this conversation. Such suppression of disagreement and conflict undoes a nation. Second, after allowing different voices to enter the arena, they adopt disruptive tactics about shout down, abuse, and troll them, making participation so unpleasant and fearful that interlocutors are compelled to give it up. This too contributes to the unraveling of a nation. One final point. A nation, a people in conversation on common issues, is not the same thing as a state, which is public power concentrated in specific institutions such as the parliament, government, judiciary, army, police, and bureaucracy. Nations may exist without states, and states without nations. Moreover, the nation is ethically prior to the state. The state exists for the sake of the nation. At no point must the state hijack the conversation, dictate its agenda, or control it. It is part of the conversation. Not its permanent leader. Indeed, it is the duty of the state to rein in those who disrupt or block the conversation. The nation expects it.